Good afternoon. Welcome to the Thursday, November 17th meeting of the Rotary Club of Milledgeville. Please stand, silence your cell phones, and will Eric Walter please come be our Rotarian of the day?
For those who don't know, this is the Philmont Freeze. Philmont is a large backcountry in Colorado. For food, for raiment, for life, for opportunity, for friendship and fellowship, we thank thee, O Lord. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, four tests, which I can't see from here, so. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And fifth, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Please remember the cart buckets as you sit down. So we've been taking a break from doing the whole match thing because that felt like you guys were kind of getting a little tired of that. But Greg informed me the other day that we're a little low on our cart donations. So dig in, please. And of course, Wendell hasn't been here to do happy dollars. So we're a little low on our cart donations year to date. So if you wouldn't mind digging in your wallet, throw a little extra in there for some holiday cheer. I'd appreciate it. Let's see. Michelle is going to do our guests and raffle today. Nice.
I'm gonna ask William to make some draws.
Okay.
He's about to wear a trust. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what number.
Good luck in this crowd.
I'll win now. I'm gonna read it.
Oh.
Okay. So,
Ready for it?
856.
Oh, Tamara. Hey.
Hey, well, come up and draw. Come up and draw. You get that? Bring them on. You're looking for it. 6 is fake. Here's your $10. Thank you. Thank you. We'll put that in the cart.
Thank you, Michelle. And the reason Michelle did it today instead of Greg, and Greg is home, he's got a nasty cold, and he was with his sister yesterday, and then later that day found out his sister has COVID. So we'll start off prayer requests with Greg. William or others, do we have any prayer requests? I hadn't heard anything. Well, that's always a good thing. All right. Oh,
just pray for Bobby Murphy and his family. Something happened last night, so just pray for him. I just want to say it because I don't want to get details wrong. But
sure. Unspoken prayer requests for Bobby. Thank you. All right. Do we have any community announcements? Really this close to the holidays? Nothing. Carla.
Just remember that the blood drive
Ooh.
next Wednesday,
Mhm.
I think 10-3 or 10-2, so come on. Market, front of house.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, I'm falling down on the job today. I'm sorry. So for club business, Tamara is putting out the sheets that were on the tables last week about the Thanksgiving baskets, about whether or not you will be there this coming Saturday, 9 o'clock, Lakeview Academy, to help put the baskets together. And also, if you know someone personally who needs a basket, not only putting their name down, but you taking responsibility for getting that basket to them. And if you're not going to take responsibility to get it to them, find somebody who will. So if you put your name down for a basket, one way or another, you're responsible for it. So no getting off the hook. Yes, sir.
Okay, one last thing on that.
Yeah.
Was there anybody that was gonna, help pick things up from the
Yes.
truck? Pick it
Yes.
up? Was anybody gonna help?
Yes, I'm going. Michelle's going. No, she didn't need your.
Because Bobby is not gonna make it. to the-
Oh, that's right. So, oh, and Greg was going to, and if he's got COVID, yes. So,
So you probably-
okay, yes, Walmart, 8 a.m. If you have a pickup truck. Okay, I'll make a list here. Kristen, me. Anybody else with a pickup truck, Mr. Brody? Thank you. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, Keith, for catching that. All right, so the board met on Tuesday and went over some items. Erin could not be here today, and she asked me to pound the gavel and pound you on the head again that the turn-in date for tickets is today. Well, it took me, since Erin is not here, or Kristen. So yeah, if this is it, people, we're getting down into crunch time. Sell them or get rid of them, get them into somebody else's hand with money, or get them back to us so that we can get them back out into the community. So sorry, I'm putting on my mean mama hat today. Let's see, in happy news that the board talked about, the board has approved a donation of $2,500 to the fire department to help them with their new burn building. The total cost of it is $5,000. We're doing $2,500. We will have a plaque with the Rotary logo on it. And this is a very good thing, not just for the fire department, but it also helps keep insurance down from the county and city perspective as well. So this is a very good thing.
That the county or city?
Both, actually. We were told that it would, it's available to all and everybody benefits, but it will be at the location on Allen Memorial. So, all right. Starting after the first of the year, we are going to start a makeup option that is strictly social, and it's going to be Margarita Tuesdays. We're figuring out all of the particulars right now, but it's going to be the second Tuesday of every month from 5:30 to 7:30. The location may change from one Mexican restaurant to the other so we can spread the love, but that will be a strictly social makeup opportunity starting after the first of the year. All right. Other board members, am I missing anything from that meeting? Firing on all pistons. Oh, did you want to invite everybody to the yeah. Sorry. 14th, Wednesday, yeah.
On December 14th, you're going to have an interact certification party. Where we'll be having a certification, will be at Baldwin High School from 3:30 to 4:30 at the CTAE building, which is, when you go to Baldwin High School, the main high school over here, and it's the building here.
It's next to the greenhouse.
And that'll be some 14, and if anyone wants to drop in, we'll make some refreshments, we'll meet some of the other 3:30 to 4:30.
Yeah, 3:30 to 4:30 on December 14th. Be the Interactive Club getting their official recognition as an official club. All right, anything else before we go into today's program?
You want to say anything about holiday party?
No, because I haven't been able to confirm
Okay.
everything, but yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Okay, Tamara, do you want to handle talking this? All right.
We don't meet next week, right?
No, we're not, well,
Hey, good afternoon. It's been a while since we've had classification talks. I think it was since March the 17th this past spring when I was up here and not talking so much. But we're going to have two really great speakers today to share their feelings about being Rotarians and talk a little bit about themselves. Our first speaker today will be Mr. Kyle Colors, owner of Sancheros and realtor and many other things that come in. Come on up, Kyle.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I don't do anything without my notes. Good news for you guys is I did leave a couple of pages at the back with nothing on it. So we won't be here too long past 2 o'clock. I don't know what this classification speech type thing is all about. Tamara called me, I guess, about a week and a half ago, and she said she wanted me to speak on the existential threat of population growth beyond the Earth's capacity and the carrying capacity of the Earth. And I was like, really? I guess I could do that, but how about I just tell them a little bit about myself and maybe a little bit about why I want to be a Rotarian? Well, thought about it a minute. She said, I guess you could do that, but you're going to bore them to tears. So I said, okay, let me think it through. So anyway, at the risk of boring you guys to tears, I thought I'd go with the other, and that is telling you a little bit about myself and why Rotary for me. So bear with me if you would. My name is Kyle Colors. I am the son of Glenn and Joyce, two awesome parents. Many of you know them, local folks here in town. The husband of Debbie Strickland Colors, who is from here also, right here in Milledgeville. The father of Taylor and Connor. What do you think about when I throw out the word or the phrase, I guess, deep roots? Everybody familiar with deep roots, right? Fall festival that we have downtown in the fall, always a lot of fun, great event and all. For me, deep roots in Milledgeville is about more than a fall festival. As fun as that is, for me, it's kind of who I am. My deep roots are right here in Milledgeville. I was born here in Milledgeville. I was delivered by Dr. David Cardosa. Many of you know Dr. Cardosa, his widow, Carol Cardosa, sweet lady, love her to death. She's still a great friend of our family. I was delivered by Dr. Cardosa back in the day when Baldwin County Hospital was a red brick building over on Cobb Street. So that goes back a day or two. But I grew up here at Sinclair Dam, literally at the dam. My dad worked for Georgia Power. He retired from Georgia Power after 42 years. He was here at Georgia Power's plant branch here in Milledgeville. And I had the privilege of growing up in one of those two Georgia Power owned houses right at the dam. If you go down the street, I mean, we're talking quarter of a mile from here at the most. But right down the street here, you try to make a left right before you get to the dam, you can't anymore. It's all fenced in like Fort Knox. Not really sure why. Well, I am sure why. I know what took place out there even when I was a little kid. But that was a great partying place right up on top of the hill there, overlooking the whole lake. Talk about the best lake light on the whole lake, all of Lake Sinclair. It was right there. But I had the privilege of growing up there where, I mean, super fun place for kids to play and have a great time. Of course, it wasn't so safe, I guess. I literally remember as a kid climbing on the rocks of the dam because none of that fencing was there back then. It was like, you know, live and let live. If you're dumb enough to climb on it, you might die. Oh, well, you know. So my dad, again, retired from Plant Branch, Georgia Power. I grew up here at the country club. I learned to swim, literally learned to swim in the pool right outside over here. The pool has been changed a little since then. It's much nicer now. But I learned to swim over there. Britt Owen, Bird now, and Sally Chandler, Sally Thrower, they taught me to swim over there. And talk about an awesome time for a kid to grow up. Can you imagine being a little boy with Britt Owen and Sally Chandler teaching you to swim? Nice. Anyway, so I give credit to them for me knowing how to swim. My parents do still live right here in this area. They're less than a mile away from here. Public school system. I'm a product of the public school system. And I think as I think through some of these things, I think about the people. When I look back on my life, I think about the people that had an awesome impact on my life.
And I think about Miss Richardson. Did anybody here remember Miss Richardson, first grade teacher at Northside Elementary? People ask me, where'd you go to elementary school? I'm like, China Garden. I mean, like, whatever it is, the little China buffet restaurant down there. Stacked restaurant. That's where I went to elementary school. Miss Richardson, she was awesome. So I went to get my marriage license when I was getting married. Went down to the Baldwin County Courthouse, which now is part of Georgia College, right there on the corner downtown, corner of Wilkinson and Hancock Street. Walked in the front door, and immediately to the left, that's where you got your marriage license. I walked up to the counter, and here I am out of college, graduated from college and all, getting this marriage license. And there was a lady across the room with her back to the counter. She was facing that outside wall. And from my voice, surely my voice had changed since first grade. From my voice, she turns around and says, Kyle Colors. And I all of a sudden was deer in the headlights. I'm like, Miss Richardson. So she comes straight up to the counter and she said, I know that voice anywhere. She says, how are you doing? And so we had a quick little reunion there and talked a good bit. That lady was amazing. She had kept up with me through the years. I had no idea she had done that, and just had glowing things to say about me. Somehow she believed some of the things that were said. I don't know. But it was so neat. And to realize that lady, I mean, I want to say she just passed away a few years ago. It hadn't been too long. And she was that way with all the kids she taught throughout this county over the years. She knew all of them, kept up with all of them. So I think about her. I think about Stephen Stewart. A lot of you guys know Stephen Stewart. He was an awesome teacher in the public school system as well. Learned so much from him through the years. I went to GMC starting in 8th grade. Back then, GMC only went as low as 8th grade. So 8th grade through high school, I was at GMC. And I think of a couple of people there that had a huge impact on my life. Colonel Tom Perrin. Who knows Colonel Perrin? Yeah, big loss from him recently. What a neat man. What a neat man. Loved people, invested in people, definitely invested in me, and I appreciate that very much. Tom Humpus, who was a Vietnam veteran, tough as nails. That man scared me to death. And every other cadet on the GMC campus was terrified of Tom Humpus. We used to swear that man starched his underwear. And of course, we never let him know we said it. Kristen's going, yep. And he came up as a non-commissioned officer up through Vietnam and attained the rank of major, which is a major feat. I think he had far more respect for NCOs than officers ever. And but what a neat man. He was the first person that ever helped me to see that I could be a leader. And I remember at the time talking with him, it was about the time he was leaving GMC, and him kind of gathering a group of people. And he said, you guys are the future leaders in this community, but in this school. I remember thinking, you got the wrong guy. You asked for the wrong guy. But he spoke life into me that I never knew was there, and spoke into me what I could become, and saw my potential, which was pretty awesome. Because again, this was a man I was terrified of and never had any idea that he thought anything of me. So just, wow, awesome people throughout my childhood growing up. I worked at, I was involved in a local church here. Many of you know Jerry Pickard, Dr. Jerry Pickard. What a man of character. What an awesome, genuine man. I don't think there's anybody I have more respect for in terms of his integrity. What a great man. Had such an influence on me as well. I worked all through high school at J.C. Grant Company, the oldest business here in Milledgeville. Been in business 135 plus years. I was there. I was thinking back on this as I was kind of making a few notes, and I thought, Mr. Grant, Mr. Johnny Grant, who was the second, by the way. I remember people would call down there and they said, let me speak to Johnny. I was like, which Johnny? Because there was Big Johnny and Little Johnny. And they'd say senior. Senior's been dead a while. But so Mr. Grant was junior, and Johnny Grant, Senator Johnny Grant, was the third, if you didn't know that. But I had the best time growing up in the jewelry store. And you talk about a tough family to be adopted by. Those Grants took me in, and I learned so much from Mr. Grant. But I realized at the time he was about 60 years old. And I'm going, really? That I thought it was old at the time. He was not remotely old at the time. I think he's 96 now, and still doing well. But I learned so much from him, from Johnny Grant, Little Johnny, also known as Bubba, to the family at least. Gene Graham, Carol Vance, Joe Grant, all of them. I mean, I grew up there at the jewelry store and learned so much about life through them. Then I went off to school, went to Georgia Tech, North Avenue Trade School there in Atlanta. Earned a degree in architecture and construction management. Learned a lot there. Was had the privilege of learning from a lady who is still a mentor to me to this day, Rosalind Meyer. She was from New Jersey and Philadelphia. She was a tough cookie. She was the first female vice president of Georgia Tech. And I learned so much from her. She was another one of those that was feared all over campus and revered all over campus. And somehow I was able to develop a neat personal relationship with her. And she just poured into me and I soaked it up like a sponge, every bit that I could get from her. And so I was blessed to have that relationship. Ended up marrying my college girlfriend, Debbie Strickland. I mentioned her earlier. What an awesome lady. Oh my gosh, I can't speak highly enough about her. Beautiful, smart, married way beyond myself. I can tell you that. We've been married now 26 years plus. And wow, I mean, I can't imagine what life would be like without her. When we had our first son, we were still living in Atlanta. So Debbie had left Milledgeville, went to Atlanta to go to Georgia Baptist College of Nursing, and I was at Georgia Tech. We graduated, got married back home, but lived in Atlanta. And then as we had our first son, we both were going, something's missing here. And we realized it was home. We missed home. We missed our hometown. We missed all these things that I've been talking about that we wanted suddenly for our kids to experience. And we said, you know what? We need to go back where we can raise our family with our family, you know, and have not only their help, but their influence and them pouring into our family. So we moved back to Milledgeville. I ended up working for the University System of Georgia more than 25 years, retired from the USG about a year ago, and the bulk of that time was working at Georgia College. Pam Glover, many of y'all know Pam, I'm sure, knew Pam, David Glover's wife. She hired me on at Georgia College back in 2000. And man, talk about another person that I learned so much from. She just had a quiet, gentle spirit about her and was tough as nails behind that quiet exterior. Learned a lot from her. My wife and I opened Cerchero's Fresh Mix restaurant 2.5 years ago or so. And what an experience that's been. It's been an opportunity for us to kind of give back to this community that's given so much to us. We, in every way, try to take advantage of every opportunity to partner with and work with local businesses, local contractors, local anything and everything we can do to be intentional about that. Neil Dyer and his company built our building there on that property. And that's important to us, you know, to do as much as we can locally. About a year ago, I mentioned I retired from Georgia College at a time when my sister, Kimmy Clements, and many of you know, had been asking me for a while, hey, come work with me, come help out in the real estate business. She had been a real estate agent at that time for 26 years, and the market, you know, has been just crazy busy for the last few years. And I kept kind of pushing it off. No, I got this great state retirement and all this kind of stuff. And it hit me on one of those days when I about had enough of Georgia College. I love Georgia College. It's near and dear to my heart, but we all have those days. Well, one of those days hit me. I called her up. I said, does that offer still stand? She said, yes, come on. I said, well, I've been doing some math and I can retire and I will come join you. So about a year ago, actually February or so of this year, I joined her, and boy, we've just been running, thankfully. And it's been a lot of fun being able to work with my sister. And again, all about serving other people, all about serving people. So why do I share all this with you? It's because these things, these people, this community are all what has molded me into who I am. That's who I am. It's my deep roots in Milledgeville. It's led me to kind of solidify over time 4 primary values that I have. And of course, I try to operate my business based on these 4 values as well. If you're going to have your own business, why wouldn't you operate it on your personal values? Number 1 is integrity. Doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, no matter the cost to you. Doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, no matter how much it costs you. That's tough sometimes. Sounds real good, doesn't it? Sometimes that's really hard to do, and it's very costly sometimes. Am I perfect at it? Whoa, I'm so far from perfect at it. I stink at it a lot of times, but that's my goal, and I value integrity. Number 2, people. I value people. I tell our Cerchero's team all the time, we have to first value one another as our coworkers in order to value our guests that come through these doors that we're really here to serve. but I value people. Everything is about people, y'all. Nobody is going to give a dang about how many burritos I rolled, and nobody's going to care at all about how many houses I sold at my funeral. Nobody's going to care. They are going to care how I cared about other people. That's going to have an eternal difference. So integrity, people, excellence. I strive for excellence in everything I do. If I'm going to commit to something, I want to do it well. I try really hard not to overcommit myself, because when you overcommit yourself, you don't do any of it well. And I stink at that a lot of times too. But excellence, and then fourth, generosity. I hear so many people talk about generosity, and they talk about, that's a lot of money. Generosity is not an amount. It's an attitude. It's an attitude of the heart. It's about just continually choosing to give. It's not about the amount that you give. It's just that attitude of giving. Again, these are ideals. They're what I try to live by. They're the strongly held beliefs that should dictate my choices and my decisions and my actions. And I try to live by those, because life, y'all know, you guys have been around long enough, I hope to know, life is about a whole lot more than chasing dollars. Again, nobody's going to care at the end of your life how many dollars you chased and how many you caught. So we need to live lives that matter, that positively affect other people, that have a positive impact on other people. So why then Rotary? That's a little bit about me. Why Rotary? Why did I have an interest in joining Rotary? Two reasons. Number one, John Jackson. John invited me. I think a lot of John. John's awesome. John and I worked together at Georgia College, and he's an amazing young man. I say young man, like, you know, I guess that means I'm old, but he's a lot younger than me. But he's an awesome guy, awesome family, living an awesome life. And John invited me, and we had talked kind of off and on about Rotary at different times, but he's why I came that first time. And he treated me to lunch. I guess we paid when we bring guests, right? Did y'all ever? He owes you money if you didn't charge him. But he's number one. Number two is because Rotary's values align with my values. That's why, because the values are in alignment. It's all about giving back, all about serving others. One more way, in addition to church, in addition to business, in addition to family, that I can extend my influence on others, hopefully in a positive way. So with that, thank you. I appreciate you guys allowing me to be part of Rotary. And I hope over time in the years to come, you'll see that I'll work hard and do what I can to help in a positive way. So thank you.
That was lovely, Kyle. Thank you so much. Our next speaker today is in the back next to Kristen. Would you please welcome Michelle Dixon? Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. So, hard act to follow, Kyle. I don't do public speaking on the regular. I'm more of one-on-one, but I've lived here all my life. So I'm a native. My family moved here before I was born, came to YDC. My dad, they were in Florida, moved here for YDC. Then he got into real estate. So after they moved here, they adopted me, which is a very special part of me and my family. But I graduated from Baldwin High School. My principal is in the room, Lynn Chandler. I graduated from GMC Junior College with my associate's degree and from Georgia College with my bachelor's in business administration. So I ended up getting into banking. My husband had a friend that worked at Century Bank and we were dating. So I ended up working in banking and eventually it became a career. Who would have thought? So I've been in banking for 27 years. I started when I was 5. I'm now a loan officer, but I've been back at Century for 22 years. It's the first bank I worked at. Moved to Marietta, moved to LJ, worked at banks in both of those towns, got married in LJ 23 years ago, last month. And my husband and I have fur babies. We have no kids, but I love on everybody else's kids, and that's fine for me. But we like to travel. And when we travel, we usually do road trips because the dog has to go with us. So, but we've lived in Milledgeville. My husband, his name's Joe. He's from Milledgeville as well. Owns his own electrical business. But I take pride in our community, the service that Century Bank does for our community. And when Derek said, you know, do you want to join Rotary? Because I've been looking for something to get involved in. It seemed to be the perfect fit. So I've enjoyed it so far. I've been here since January. And I think it is the perfect fit for me because I see the support in this room. I see the support y'all give the community and to everybody else. And so it just confirms I'm where I need to be. But small world, and many of you I know, and getting new friends. So I just look forward to continuing to grow and do better in this club. Thank you.
Well, normally when we do classification talks, we try to squeeze in 3. But only 2 were available today, unless someone would like to volunteer. Oh, volunteered themselves, not be volunteered by you, William. Right, yeah, you're gonna get volunteered if you don't watch it.
That'd be a good meeting.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna put her on the spot. No. All right. Okay, well, I guess with that, this will just be a short one unless there are any other peanut gallery announcements. Nothing. Good. All right. Well, since we will not be meeting next week for Thanksgiving, everyone have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And our quote for today comes from Charlie Brown. What if today we were just grateful for everything? Have a great day.